let's talk healing. So last week I was putting together a bed rail for my mother. She was getting in a new bedroom set, but we had to put together the bed rail. So I put it together for her. And in the process of doing that, I nicked my index finger, my pointer finger, to the point that the skin peeled back and it was like you could see the white meat in the finger. I really nicked it pretty good. But I just cleaned up the blood, wrapped it up, and continued to put in the bed rail together until it was completed. I didn't let it stop me, and I just went about my day. Just covered it up, just kept tending to it for the next couple of days because it was still hurting, right? But if I was just not thinking about it, I didn't feel it unless I nicked it on something, then it would trigger that pain again. It would like start throbbing. But again, I kept going about my days. And one thing I love about the skin is how it regenerates itself, right? It rejuvenates itself. It starts replenishing. It starts like recalibrating, as we would say, itself and what was damaged. And it starts repairing itself, and that's what I love about God. I love about how He created us, and just watching how this new skin is coming in and how it's closing up, kind of like sort of like an invisible stitching that is taking place. But it just made me think. I just started thinking about it today as I looked at my finger because we go through life, right? We go through these processes. We go through whatever trials and tribulations comes our way because we're going to endure it. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. That we can't allow it to stop us. We can't allow it to stop where we're going and what God has for us, right? Like Paul says, he had a thorn in his side, right? And it's like we are inflicted in some way or somehow, but we can't stop it. And it always reminds us that we got to depend solely on God. We have to depend on God for all our wants, all our needs. We have to depend on God for and the Holy Spirit to lead and guide us into all truth. We have to solely depend on God. And just looking at this visualization, of my finger, it's when the initial affliction happened that it shocked the mess out of me because I was like, oh my God, like it hurt. Like I wanted to throw something, but I just had to like bite down, like, oh, right. I did one of those. And I'm like, man, like I started bleeding, and it's like, wow, this hurts, but I still had to complete the process. I still had to complete the task at hand. And not only that, like me completing it didn't stop the pain, it didn't stop the hurt, it didn't stop the damage or the wound that I had. But I just had to wrap it up and keep going. I had to keep it covered for a period of time. And God will cover us through through some of our timing of healing, during some of our timing of getting through. But then when He unravels, when He takes the covering off of us for us to keep going forward, it's not that He took His hand over us, but it's now it's time. It's like a bird pushing its birdie out of its nest. And it's time for you to keep going, even in the midst of pain, even in the midst of trauma, even in the midst of what you're going through. And yes, just like my finger, when it was going through its healing process, there was days where it didn't hurt, but then something hit it and it triggered that pain again. Yeah, we're gonna go through life and something's gonna trigger. Like during our process, something is going to it will trigger that hurt again. But we can't allow it to cripple us because eventually you will no longer feel that pain. And as I look at my finger today and I see the new skin build replenishing itself and I see the wound closing, if I tap it, I feel a little dull pain, but it is not as painful as it was before. It wasn't as painful as the initial hit. And as the days continue to persist, I will completely see the healing of that wound and there will no longer be any pain. And I want to encourage you, there will come a day where you will wake up, there will come a day where you'll realize there is no more pain. I don't feel that wound. That doesn't trigger me anymore. I don't think about that situation that God has brought me through. And that's what I want you to look forward to. That's what I want us all to look forward to. There is going to come a day that you don't feel that pain, that you won't even that just even giving your testimony won't inflict pain anymore of what God brought you through. So know that the better days are here, and for those who are waiting, better days are coming. Until next time, God bless.